All right, so hi YouTube. Want to thank my subscribers. I don't know why you subscribe to me, but thank you for being subscribers. Another little video that I'm putting together here today. This one is for my BMW R1200 RT. Had to put a new tire on. I'll show the tire right here. My old tire was very flat, as you can see over here. It was quite flat, so I was starting to roll off the edges a little bit. Had a funny feel leaning in the corners. Already replaced the front last weekend. So on this one right here, I've already have still photos of taking the rear wheel off. It's nothing, just remove the exhaust and then 5 lugs you take off the back wheel. It's done. It's that simple. Now the hard part is balancing the wheel. Now with BMW, since they have a single-sided swing arm, you notice this large hole in the middle of this wheel. There are literally, oh, I don't know, in a 65 or 70 mile radius, there's probably 40 motorcycle shops and places that sell motorcycle parts and accessories. And not one of them can balance this wheel because of this hole right here. The only place that can is a BMW dealer, and the two of them that are even reasonably close to me are like 65 or 70 miles. So the first time that I did this, I ran into that problem. And they wanted, well, it was close to $150 to do the front and the back both. And that was driving all the way down there and driving all the way back. And I just thought, well, that's insane. And then I thought, well, what happens if I'm ever touring out in the middle of, Podunk, USA, and I tear up a tire? And all of a sudden now I need a new tire. But not only that, I need to balance it somehow. I can always get a tire FedEx to my hotel room and spend a couple of days in a mom and pop motel. But then after I put it on, how am I going to balance it? So that's where this comes in right here. This is a little tire kit that I put together for traveling. It's got, number one, you use these to put around the tire so you don't, or the wheel, so you don't mar the wheel when you're using the tire spoons. Take the tire off. And then there's also some wheel weights, which we're going to use here in a little bit. And there's also a device to remove the cap in the center, and I got some stem rather, and I got some extra stem pieces in here as well, because you gotta let the air out of the tire entirely to take the tire off the wheel. And that's where you use the bead breakers. I've ordered another bead breaker, which is called Bead Buster, which is a very cool thing and would work extremely well, but it didn't come in time to do this weekend, and I wanted to get this done, so I took my tire to my local place, Rocky's Great Outdoors, about 2 miles from here, and within 15 minutes they had put the tire on the rim, taken the old tire off, and charged me like 12 bucks. So, with that being said, I now have the tire and wheel combo here, and I have to balance it. So, this device right here is what I ended up buying. It's by a guy called Marc Parnes, P-A-R-N-E-S. It's a very cool piece. It's got these really nice bearings. It's about 150 bucks for this. Mine was a little bit more because of this piece right here I'll talk about in a second. But it's machined beautifully, and you can see the bearings, and it's made for either setting like that if I had a set of jack stands, or a setting like that if I had to use a couple of cinder blocks. Chances are if I'm out in the road somewhere at a motel somewhere in the middle of nowhere, cinder blocks would be easier to come by than a set of jack stands. So it works for both of those. Then also, this is the part that is BMW specific right here. And obviously, as you can tell just by looking at it, it's made to fill that hole up. So I've cleaned the wheel already, gotten it ready to put the new wheel weights on. We've got to take the old wheel weights off yet. But the way this works is this goes on the back side of the wheel and just sits in there like that. All right, so I got a screwdriver. Just going to here and get these old weights off. Well, it's going to be a little difficult, I see. There we go. All right. And now we'll have to get that rubber off. All right, so one thing I found works pretty well for removing sticky stuff is WD-40. Let's see if that holds true with this as well. All right, so now that we have the weights off the wheel on both sides, we got the wheel cleaned up, ready to go. We've got the adapter plate in the center on the drive side. Push through. It's actually It's actually made with a beveled edge, so it goes in only one way. And this side is the side that protrudes out. As you can see, there's a lip right there stopping it. Then you tighten these pieces up here. So for now, we're going to take the rod with the conical spacers, which you would normally use like on a front tire or a regular wheel that had a standard kind of hole in the wheel. This obviously is non-standard because of the swing arm. And then we're going to set it up over here on the jack stands to our spacing. Get our wheel centered over that. Okay. We can go ahead and tighten up our conical end pieces to hold the wheel steady. So it was in place steady. On here, good. Okay. All right, so there we go. Now, at this point, what we're looking for is the heavy side. I've got some tape right here, and let me get out some wheel weights. And there's different values. There's 1/4 ounce and 1/2 ounce. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn the wheel. Now you see a lot of guys, they're spinning these wheels like they're at some kind of fever pitch. It's really not necessary. What you got to do is you just got to let the wheel find its own weight. And this is what's nice about the Marc Parnes. These bearings, I actually had a Harbor Freight one for 35 bucks or whatever, and no matter what I did, I could not get that thing to balance because the bearings in them were so scratchy. It just wasn't giving me a true roll on the wheel like this is. And this will go on like this for several minutes. So what we'll do is we'll just kind of I'm going to help it out just a little bit. If I just let go of it, it's probably going to end up being that as being the heavy side. And once it finds its own spot, sorry, got some WD-40 on here still, it looks like. That's where I'm going to have to stick those weights. So it's not going to be that critical. Once it just finds where it's going to stop. See, these bearings are so good that it has to be just something just this simple. Alright, so it's actually kind of off-center on the weight. So what we'll do first is we'll take a 1/2 ounce. I'm going to take one of the old 1/2 ounces actually. I'm going to tape it on here just to see. I get the tape off the roll. Let's see if we have, for a start, if that's going to be enough or not. I'm going to just put it right here for right now. Now, if that's correct, I should be able to move this wheel anywhere and have it just stop. But see, it's not. See, it's still rolling down. So, we'll take another 1/2 ounce weight. And we'll put right there with it because it's almost always going to be in the same exact spot that that one was. So, we'll try it there. I'm going to move it up here a little bit. See what happens. So, still not enough weight. Now I had 4 of those on here originally. Okay, so what I did was, to shorten up this video, I went ahead and put 4. I got 2 on each side. If you notice now, see how the tire is balanced on its own? So I should be able to bring it around this way and stop it. It should stay balanced where it is, not rolling. There you go again. Tiny little bit of movement, but you know, when you think about how little that is, That's not, I mean, that's as close to perfect as we need to be. I mean, look at that. It's not. So what we're trying to do here is not have a high side, so we don't have a lopsided tire as we're riding down the road. We could put a 1/4 ounce on here just for the heck of it, and just see what difference, if any, that might make. I mean, I'm always willing to experiment, but I don't think it's going to really benefit us any. Let's put it right in the center. Because I know there's going to be some other that go, well, that's not perfect. So let's just try that. Let's see if that helped us any. Stop it. Now see, it's rolling back the other way. It wasn't doing that before. See, now it's heavy on that side. That 1/4 ounce made that much of a difference. See that? So let's just go ahead and remove this. We'll just stop it again. See? That's perfect. That's as close as we're going to get. Unless I was to take one of those 1/4 ounces and cut it in half, which I could do, but it's not necessary. I mean, I'm okay with this. In fact, this is about what it did last time. But this shows you how good the Marc Parnes bearings are, that it's even doing that. So I could move those a little bit. I just want to get up here to the top. Maybe I'll move them slightly. Let's see. Yeah, straight up and down would actually be more here. So if I take them weights and I just move them a little bit from where they are to a point closer over that. That could be all we need right there. Let's see how that works. Look at that. Close enough. I'm going to go ahead and put them on now. I'll be right back. Alright, so there you have it. I've got all 4 of the new weights on. And the amount of movement is perfect. So that's the wind blowing there, I believe, was causing that. Yep, and I touched it and stopped. So I'm going to call it good, and you guys should too. Any questions, any comments? If you think that I'm not being precise enough, please let me know. But I can live with that. Thanks a lot. Alright, so just for the heck of it, I did add a 1/4 ounce back onto it just to see what would happen, and it started falling the other direction. So I'm probably 1/8 of an ounce, and that's just not anything I'm going to worry too much about. So feel free to comment if you like. Let me know if you think I've done this all wrong. But the last time I did this, I used this technique right here. I rode 8,000 miles on the other tire before I had to replace it, so I think we're going to be good. Take care, and thanks a lot for watching my videos, guys. Appreciate it. Ride safe.